Welcome to your favorite discussion, guys. This is Cyril Jiken again. And you know how we do it, right? The power of the mind. Everything you put your mind to, you can do it. So I've been doing these interviews, randomly. You could find them on my YouTube page and Facebook and everything. And I'm falling in love with it, and I'm talking to so much great people, and it's inspiring me to want to interview more people and just share people's stories. So today's an awesome day, and if you woke up this morning breathing, I want to tell you you're special, right? Don't start thinking, oh my God, I'm broke, or there's no food in my fridge. Guess what? Most people didn't make it this morning, right? Most people didn't wake up. So we know what's happening around the world. So if you're up, standing on your 2 feet, tell yourself you're special. Trying to serve. Be selfless. Be there for somebody else. Because what you're taking for granted is luxury for somebody else. So let's not go into the preaching, right? We're here to have fun. But welcome to your favorite discussion. Today we're receiving an awesome guest. She's not only a friend, she's family. We call ourselves husband and wife. That's the only wife or the wife that my wife allowed me to have, right? Because everybody else is through the window. But we're family. Her daughter is my daughter. Our children's like we're family, and she's great. I'm not only bringing people on this show just for fun. She is great. So I don't go anywhere. Just sit down tight and listen to her story. I want to say something to Rebo. Rebo, Sawubona.
Oh, Sawubona, Njani.
Oh my God, that's where my South African end. Okay, that's where my Zulu end. How do I answer?
I'm not actually Zulu, but then I'm proud. I'm happy that you learned that.
I told you, I went out of my way to.
I can see the headband, the flag.
Trust me, the flag.
I'm so Americanized right now.
I had to call Durban for family to send this to me because I was like, DHL. We need to DHL this thing fast before Rebo thinks I'm just a regular person, right? But I'm so honored to have you on the show, man. I like, this is an awesome day for me. You can't even imagine. Like, first of all, it's a proud moment. It's a proud moment because you are awesome at all the great things you're doing. I just wanted to officially tell you in front of the world that you are my inspiration, right? You are an inspiration. No. We have to be real with each other. You're an inspiration to many, and you're an inspiration to my family and I. And it's an awesome privilege to have you in the favorite discussion. We're going to have fun. We're going to say things that will inspire people, say things that will surprise other people. But at the end of the day, we're going to have fun. All right. So Rebo, welcome to your favorite discussion. How do you feel today? How are you feeling?
I'm humbled. I'm honored. I have been watching your journey, and I have been watching you develop this show. And every single time I see your inspirational pieces on Instagram and Facebook and your guests and everything like that, I remember like a while back, and I'm like, I wish one day I could be here. Like I could get the honor of being one of your guests. And when you said to me that, oh, I want you to be my guest, I was like, who, me? The people I've seen, the caliber of people I've seen you around, I'm like, are you sure? Like,
No.
But that, which humbled me a lot, because I've seen the caliber of people, and I've seen your journey, and I've seen the people you work with, the people you run, and who you are.
Yeah.
Like, you inspire me. I remember starting to do charity work because of you.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I started volunteering because of you. Because the only charity work I could say that I used to do from a young age was donating blood.
Yeah.
And when I saw you do a lot of things like clean up New York City streets, feeding the children, working with college students, I was like, I have a lot that I could offer more than just my rare blood type.
Yeah. So
then that's when I started doing charity work about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
When I started doing that.
Don't go there. See, I don't want to be emotional. I don't want to cry, but guess what?
But I just want you to know that you were the reason I started.
Oh my God!
The reason that made me ask around in the DMV area, like, where do I go? What do I do? How much more can I give?
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to tell you my story of how I ended up here, but then
we're going to get into that, and that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to tell you.
When I saw that, I was like, I need to give a little bit more.
Yeah.
So thank you. I'm honored.
Oh my God, thank you so much. It means a lot to me, and sometimes I say it all the time. And please leave B alone, okay? We're happy. The background noise is good for us. B is great. Don't get distracted. I love B. She's playing in the background.
She's
That's a good.
exercising. People can, like, I'm looking at her and she's like literally lifting weights.
So for people that don't know, Rebo is a mother. You know, she's an entrepreneur. She's a lot, and I'll give her the opportunity to introduce herself right now and tell us, you know, who she is, so that you get to know the person before we get into the discussion. You know, the beginning was just, you know, us telling how we feel about each other, and it's lovely. I'm so honored to hear that from her. So Rebo, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us the great things you're doing.
Ooh, so my name is Rebotile Dikolomela, but I go by the name. You are Botale. My daughter's name is Botale, as she's graciously told everybody. First and foremost, can I talk to Uncle? Thank you. First and foremost, I am a mother. I am an entrepreneur. I'm an author. I'm an educator. And yeah, so I have a dance group. So I'm a co-owner of a dance group with 5 other members. I used to be Miss South Africa Culture USA 2016, Miss Culture USA's First Princess 2016. Entered a couple of pageants. That's another story. We'll get into that one as well. I've done a lot in this country. I have a book out. Luckily, I have it right here. I'm an author called Rebotile Day at the Zoo. And of course, is the title, as she said, it's all about her. I'm a bilingual children's. Can she come and say hi to everybody?
Yes, she can. Yes, she can. Please.
She's not gonna stop talking to you.
Hello, B. Look at the twins girls right there.
Hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
We did not everybody say.
Okay.
So we're so honored to have you as a guest on the show, B. You're a superstar, and I love you, and you're so cute.
Can you show everybody? That's your book.
Wow, this is so
okay.
Mama, what is this one? What a mama on the ground.
Okay, baby, go. Can mommy go talk to Uncle? Okay.
Not only are you an entrepreneur, but you're a giver, right? You're a very selfless person. I see a lot of things that you're doing. I want to start from the beginning. I've known you for 11 years now. We've known each other for 11 years, right? That's why I say we're family. Can you tell us your journey? How did it start? When did you decide, like me, like many other young Africans, to migrate? You know, when did you decide that a better life for you is going to come on the other side of the ocean?
Wow. Okay. My story is a little different. So I have 6 brothers and I'm the only girl, right? And I've been sheltered all my life. And I somehow felt like if I stayed in South Africa, I was not going to reach my full potential. I haven't reached it yet, but I felt like the way I was so sheltered with all my brothers, my father and my mom, they were all so protective that I needed to go away, and being in another province was not far enough. My mom would have come live with me, basically, right? So I wanted to see the world. That was the first thing. I was in 12th grade, we call it matric. I was in 12th grade and these people were coming and they were like, go a year abroad, you know, take a year off and everything. And I said it to my dad and my dad said, you're gonna get your education first. Right? So I got my education, but it was still at the back of my mind while I was in university. Like, this cannot be it, right? And then I, like, baby. And then,
okay.
Okay, but can you, a little bit, you're too loud, a little bit. Thank you. I love you. So while I was studying for my first degree, it was still at the back of my mind that, you know what, this is not it. South Africa is not the end of it, right? I'm from a country in Africa where, if you know Africa, there are just a few countries that are well off, right, than other countries that have less, not that there's no poverty, there's less poverty than other countries. And South Africa is one of them, right? So it wasn't like I ran away from poverty per se, but I ran away from being caged. With love. I'm not saying they were caging me because they just loved me or protected me or were overbearing on me, so much that I had to get out.
No, but
And
Rebo, that's a sign of greatness right there. Because usually, no, I'm serious. Usually, young ladies will love that ability to be
I know.
protected. You know, but you decided to break away. You decided to break free, right? So if I understand clearly, you travel because you wanted to experience something bigger. You
Yes,
wanted
I
you
wanted
wanted to
more.
see what you wanted more. You felt like it's like a big fish in a small pond.
Yes.
So you were already a leader at a young age.
Say that, yeah.
No, I'm serious. Like,
Rap group in South Africa. I was an A student back home, and I had a job secured when I finished when I finished college. So I was like set, but then it felt like everything was just written.
yes.
You understand? My dad had struggled so much that he had worked so hard to figure out the system in South Africa for his children, and he'd figured it out for all of us.
Yeah.
And he'd laid it out for all of us, and all we had to do was just take that path, and we would be okay.
Wow, that's
like my brothers right now in South Africa are doing well.
Wow.
Okay, he struggled. He really struggled through apartheid and everything, and he was one of the few Black people in the 90s and early 80s who actually owned properties in Johannesburg.
Wow.
Because he wanted more. And seeing my dad fight for what he wanted and achieve it, and he had, because all of us want that for our kids. Yeah. I'm doing that for Bukale right now. I want the best for her. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So yes, baby. So I'm doing all of this for her, and my parents did the same for me. But I felt like there has to be more.
How did it feel to be the only girl though, among all the boys? Did you, apart of the fact that you were very protected, how did you feel?
It was annoying. My brothers are all annoying. Like I was treated like one of them. My dad raised me like one of his sons, because he said to me, he's like, you may not get married, right? So I'm going to give you the tools of what you need, what women think they need in a man, right? Your mom's going to teach you all the feminine stuff and everything like that, but I'm going to give you just in case.
I'm going to give you the muscles.
Did you know I can change a tire? Okay? He's like, you're going to learn how to drive a car, and you're going to learn how to change a tire. I may not be able to fix a car, but ain't nobody going to come and tell me that, you know what, this is broken without me realizing, because my dad gave me all the skills that I needed.
Yeah.
But being the only girl, I think was a blessing to me, because I got to live both worlds.
Yeah.
It was funny when I came here, a lot of my friends that I made in the United States thought that I was too boyish. So I came here as a tomboy. I had everything, and not that I couldn't balance it, but they saw me as being a boy because that's how I was raised.
I remember that young tomboy. I remember her, cheeky with her cheeks, like.
I know. But yeah, so it was a blessing in a way, but then it was annoying because at the end of the day, I was still a girl, and the things they were doing were just. They're still annoying to this age.
Yeah.
And all of them are adults.
So and guess what? People, the whole family look like one person. All of them look so much alike. So you won't even know who was who, right? So
trying to say I look like a boy?
I didn't say that, but I'm just saying your father and your mother made a great job of making you all look alike. You know, so
thank you.
Yeah, beautiful.
Don't ever tell my brothers I look like them. I refuse.
There's one of them that had his birthday a couple of months ago. I saw the birthday picture on Facebook. I was like, wow, this is Rebo's birthday. I'm like, no, that's not her. You know,
a lot of people thought that we were twins at one point.
Yeah, you guys look like twins. Yeah. I look like twins. But okay, so now a single, only girl out of a beautiful family. You know, your mother and God rest her soul, your father doing all what they're doing to raise you all in that environment of apartheid. Give me a couple of experiences of you growing up in South Africa in that time where it was all white bathroom, no blacks on this side, this, that. I want you to share with our viewers what was your experience of apartheid? Because most people up till today, young people don't even know what apartheid is, right? So please.
I was born in the apartheid era, but I didn't grow up in it. So by the time I knew what was what, it was already fading out.
Oh, wow.
Right? So I went to a multiracial school. Like I said, my dad paved the way. I was born in a village. So my parents had decided, like, they got married and everything. So me and my older brothers were born in the village and were raised. Only the two younger ones were born in the city, right? And I came to the city when I was like 4, right, to start school. And my dad picked one of the most whitest, it's normal white, but one of the most whitest school in our area, like to the point where we had white uniforms. Okay, the history of the school, when you look at the pupils in that school, was an all-white school. By the time I got there, it was integrating blacks, Indians, and coloreds and everybody. And by the way, for everybody that does not know, colored in South Africa does not mean black. Colored is actually a race in South Africa. So I had to like always explain that to people here in the United States. So colored for us is a race. It's what Americans called a mixed race.
Yeah.
So during the apartheid era, blacks and whites would have kids, right? And those kids in time, because they were segregated and put aside, ended up like reproducing, and they became a race of their own.
Of color,
They came from apartheid.
So you grew up in the post-apartheid era. What was the difference? Like, listen to the stories told to you by maybe your parents and what you were living. How do you say? What would you say that
I cried when I heard my mom was in jail because she didn't have a pass, like an ID. So she had to carry an ID, and she was a young girl visiting her sister in the city by train from Limpopo province, by train to Johannesburg. And she spent time on the holidays, and she was going back home to school. And she had forgotten her pass at her sister's job. So her sister was a domestic worker at that time. She forgot her pass at the sister's job, and the police came into the train and they ravaged and they asked, and she was about 15. And she was already traveling alone. And she tried to look for her pass, and her pass was gone. And she remembered that she left it on the table and she didn't pick it up. And she had to call her sister, but then she had to sleep overnight because it was weekend. So she was locked up. So a 15-year-old girl from a village, okay, who just came to visit her sister for the first time, got locked up. And she was telling me about she had to use her boots as a pillow because she was on the floor, and they were not even giving them blankets. They gave them a mat, which was very, very thin, that you could feel the concrete floor. My dad has been in and out because he was one of the ANC members. He does not approve of the ANC now. ANC now.
Most people don't.
So he was one of the originals that fought, and he was going in and out. Yes, he did not end up like Nelson Mandela, but he had his share of whips and everything. And since he's light-skinned as well, that was also like a problem because he's light. Like, it was a big problem for him to, like, people, they couldn't fit him into a bracket. You understand? So they questioned his Africanness. So the blacks were also like, kind of like, okay. And then the whites were like, okay, you still black kind of situation.
You're not a part of us. So
you're not a part of us. So, but then he fought, and that is the reason why right now he does not stand with the ANC at the present moment, because of what he knows what the ANC used to be and it has become at this present moment.
It's been diluted, and that's a story I don't want to go into because I follow closely the South African politics.
So hearing those stories, hearing him being like living in Alex and the whips and the barging into his compound and all of that was heartbreaking. It made me appreciate what he had done for us. It made me appreciate the little that we had. Like, I remember growing up, and I didn't know that we were poor. We weren't poor, but then we were not that well off. Until I was older, and I'm like, because they made it seem as if everything was okay. They gave us security from the world. I remember in 1994, I was supposed to go to school, right? And the IFP was marching down the streets, killing any ANC member because they didn't win. Like, that was what I grew up with. And I couldn't go to school because of that. We were locked in. It was like more of a raid going on. So I may have not lived through the horrible part of apartheid, but I did get a little glimpse of what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Because even Black people in South Africa were fighting for power at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I'm so thankful that you share that. Now looking back, you know, you've been here for how many years have you been here in America now?
I've been in and out for 11 years.
11 years. Oh, so
Yeah.
we've known each other for all your time in America. So
Yes.
you deciding to break through and get some freedom and smell what it feels like to be independent, you know, exercise your leadership, come to America. How was it? How was your first trip and why did you come here? What did you do when you came?
First trip. Okay, I came here to study, and I had a host family. I remember it was 2009, and I had a host family, and the job I had was a babysitting job. I was young. I came with my degree, and this country said, we don't recognize this degree.
Oh, wow.
You need to go to school and add on to it. And because I'm from a metric system, so my math was off according to them. My English was off. I speak British. I'm sorry. I'm still bitter about this 11 years later. Because when they told me that I was an A student in English in South Africa, British English,
Yeah.
where English comes from,
Yes.
come to this country and they're like, nope, we don't recognize your English. So I had to do English 101.
Wow.
Exactly.
What a shame.
I know. I had to do math.
You could have taught that teacher English.
When I was writing an essay and I had read marks on it, I went, hey. And I took it to my English professor in South Africa, and they're like, there's really nothing wrong with this. You should have got out. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
But I had to swallow my pride. Okay. At the end of the day, this is not the land I grew up in. If I wanted to succeed, I needed to go by their laws. In order for me to change the laws or get what I want, I had to, you know, I'm sorry, there's like a fly in front of me.
Yeah. It's one of your aunties in South Africa that's here. She
Doesn't say that. Like, hey, I want you to talk about me.
She see you shining. She see you shining and she doesn't like that. She say let me transform into a fly and go and distract that
African auntie, you know that. So yeah, like so I had to humble myself at the beginning in order to get what I wanted, to learn this land and learn what the laws, the rules, and how to maneuver around it. I took from my dad, who was in a land, which was his own land, but was in a land or a territory where Blacks didn't get much, but he wanted much. He was from a village and he said, I wanted land or I wanted property in the city. How do I go about that? And he found a way to work through the apartheid laws to get what I want. Because I remember the building that we lived in, we were the only 2 Black families there. Everybody was white. Now it's an all white, all Black building. But it was like, so it was those kind of things that I had to say. I'm like, okay, I have to find out what the laws in this country are, humble myself. Okay, I could like pop my collar and go like, I'm South African. I learned well, you know, but that's not gonna get me far. Yeah. So I did my math, I did my English, and I did work as a nanny, right?
And how many years did you work as a nanny?
I was with the host family for 2.
Okay.
And I left after I got my second degree. Well, I'm gonna call it my second degree because I did it once.
Yeah, your American degree.
Yeah, my American degree in engineering, right? And it took me about 2 years for me to actually combine the two, like get it to that standard, right? Okay. And then I left and I went back to South Africa. Okay. And while I was here, actually, I was looking to see where else I can go. Like I had gotten onto a plane. I was the second in my family that had left the country. And my late uncle was the first, and he went to China on a job for like a week or so and came back. And we went to pick him up at the airport. That was when I was like, this is it. I was young. And we went to pick him up at the airport. I had never been to an airport. And we went to pick him up and he told us about his stories. He was giving us gifts from China and everything like that. And he looked at me and said, you need to see the world. I was about 14 or 15 at that time. At that time, I knew when the people from they came in the 12th grade to tell us about living abroad came along. I was like, my uncle said that a couple of years I need to see. Maybe this is how I should do it. Yeah. And so I was basically I'm actually the first to live outside of my country.
Wow.
From family, both sides of the family.
You created a new trend in your family, my friend.
I started a new trend. The
Yep.
second one now is Butlale. So, so but then so what was the question again? I'm sorry.
You were talking about after you ended your degree.
So
now
yes.
you felt like you wanted to discover. You wanted to go.
See more.
Yeah, you wanted to see more. And
so I went to Europe.
You went to Europe, yeah. So after 2 years in America, you decided to go to Europe. What country did you visit in Europe?
I was applying while I was here for different things, right? And one of them was I got a scholarship to study business in Norway, right? So when my time here was done, the program was starting a couple of months later after the program in the United States was done. So I went to South Africa for a couple of months and I felt like I was crowded. The country became so small because here I did so much in 2 years, got to know people. Living in Africa, funny enough, I only knew South Africans and maybe Zimbabweans and people from Botswana, Lesotho, a couple of Nigerians at that time and everything. So I didn't know that Africa I did know it was big, but then it was that colorful.
Yeah.
And when I went back home, I felt like there was not enough culture, not enough people, like to learn from.
Yeah.
And then, mind you, I have made friends with Haitians, Cameroon, Jamaica, like every country you can think, not just Americans.
Yeah.
You understand?
So I like it opens. It
opened my mind.
To new
and
things.
I said, this country is too small for me.
And at that point, Rebo, did you feel like, you know what? I think the sky is not the limit. I think I could. What is going on in your mind at that moment? Like, I know you're going to Norway, you go back to South Africa, like you feel that sense of entrapment, and you're like, you know what? At that moment in your mind, what's happening?
A lot was happening at that time. I remember when I got the excitement of seeing my family. Okay. I had not seen them in a year. So I had come in between the 2 years, I had visited like once, right? I had not seen them in a year. And I was happy for the first week, right? So my friends and everything. And I felt like everybody there was still where I left them. And that did not sit well with me. Yeah, my younger brothers were 2 grades older and everything. And my brother was in the army and others were like starting their careers, but they were still where I left them. And I was like, no. This cannot be it. And I felt like I could not breathe. I remember one time my mom found me on top of the bed and I was crying. And she asked me what's wrong. And I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm suffocating and I don't understand why. Okay. That time I had a job offer in South Africa in a construction company and I wasn't, and I wasn't, I was telling them that I'm gonna come back after a year and a half because I have something else, and they kept the job for me.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they kept the job for me because, mind you, at that time I already had an international certification as well.
Yeah.
So when I traveled and I went to Norway, great experience. Don't live in Norway.
Yeah.
Black people should never live in Norway. No.
Yeah, there's a couple of Nigerians there. So if you go somewhere you don't find a Nigerian, it means that place is not livable.
I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. But it was a good experience. I learned a lot from there. I got a lot from there. I learned never to want to live there. I would want to visit, but never to want to live there.
Yeah.
And I realized that I can pick any part of the world to live in.
Oh wow!
So when I went back to South Africa,
Rebo, you just hit the point right there. Do you think home is where you make of it, or do you think you just have to stay in Africa to create? Like, please, because what you said right there is deep, and I want you to expand on that a little bit, please.
Home is not where you were born. My parents told me that because my parents were born in the village, so I'll always refer back to my parents because my experience and me being me is because of seeing them.
Yes,
they all grew up in the village, okay, but that was not their destiny. Okay, they went to the city for a bigger life. That was what was bigger for them in that time.
Yeah,
they couldn't. Yes, baby, it's clean. Good job. They couldn't go beyond.
Yeah,
because passports were not allowed and all of that.
Yeah.
They couldn't go beyond just going to the city. City was the big life for them. So my parents have always taught me that where you start is not where you should expect to be. If you're comfortable in that space, you are not living, you're breathing. Okay?
Wow.
And I took that to a bigger level. And I was like, all right, so I don't have to be in this country.
Yeah.
And I can get out. I got a passport. Okay. So the church I went to always traveled within Africa, and we needed a passport to go back and forth.
Yeah.
I had a passport already. And I saw the power of that green book. And that green book told me I could actually just go get a visa. Okay. And I can actually go to a country for a year or so and see if I like it there.
I love you, Rebo. Like you don't even know. Like this right here is just what I preach on a daily basis, and you should know that by now. The sky is not the limit.
It's not.
Do not let your situation hold you from achieving your purpose.
People don't understand that the sky has an ozone layer. Something beyond the ozone layer. There's galaxies beyond that.
Yeah, I love it.
Fly to the sky, then that's about it. I'm not done yet. Most people will look at me and go like, oh, okay, but then you're not that far enough. I'm like, you should know what I came with in this country. I came into this country with a travel bag and a carry-on. I still have my travel bag to remind me whenever I have bad days and I feel like nothing is going my way, right? I look at that travel bag that it is like, it's a very small travel bag. I came with just clothes and toiletries.
Wow.
Okay? And everything that I own in this country, I worked for. I didn't get it from my parents.
Yeah.
Everything that my parents built for me is back in Africa. People are like, oh, maybe you're running away from Africa because poverty and everything. I'm like, no. When ish happens, I have land in South Africa. I have a house in South Africa. I have a trust fund in South Africa. I have a bank account in South Africa.
Wow.
I have security for myself and my daughter.
Yeah.
Right? I've got all of that. But that was just not enough for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So me falling and going back home is not a sad story. It's just a story I don't want to
Right.
read.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And everything I own in this country, I worked for. Tooth and nail. I did not get it from, no silver spoon came into my mouth. And I'm not trying to say it and try to be all pompous or all big-headed.
No, it's normal.
It's because I want Americans as well, people who live in this land, to understand that you can do more. Just because of the color of your skin does not mean that that's the end of the story. Yes, I've read your history. I've studied your history.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's a very sad history. Okay, but that's not the end of you.
Yeah.
If somebody can come here with a bag and a carry-on and clothes that they don't even fit me right now, right? And come into this country and make what I made, it may not seem like a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you who lives here, who has roots here, you can do much, much more.
Yeah.
I have a lot of red tapes on me because I'm an immigrant.
Yeah.
Okay, you do not have those red tapes.
Yeah.
And I do not allow my red tapes to limit
hold you down. Yeah.
No.
And guess what? And to even add to what you just said, it also shows that even if you're born here, it doesn't mean that you can succeed here. You can travel somewhere else to be a success. Just as everybody travels. The world is a global village. It's a small village now. People, I have friends that lives in Ghana that are Americans that now established over there, have businesses and everything. So if you think it's tough here, take your thing and go somewhere else and be great.
That blue book,
okay?
There are so many other countries that don't even need you to have a visa just because.
No.
You know how powerful that blue book is?
Yes, ma'am.
Some countries in Africa don't even need you to apply for a visa.
Yes,
go there.
Yes,
go find out, visit it and see if you can start a life there. I had to come. The reason why I came back to the United States is because I came here, went to Norway, went back to South Africa, right? And I stayed in South Africa and I worked in South Africa as well. After I came back from Norway, I worked in South Africa for a year. And I realized that this was not home for me. Like it's home, isn't like my family is there, the love that I grew up with, and my friends are all there. Yes, that is home in that aspect, but it is not home for me. And the place that I felt more alive in was the United States, because I saw the possibilities. There is something that you guys need to know, that the American dream does exist. You just have to work for it.
Yeah.
Immigrants need to know that. I worked for it. I went from living in somebody's basement and moved up in my life and have a daughter. And now my daughter is motivating me even more.
Yeah.
Because I need to make sure that the life that my parents, or the security or the net that my parents have set up for me in South Africa, I set up for her here and in South Africa. And if she grows up and wants to live in a different country, she is set in 2 countries.
Yeah.
You understand?
I love it. I love it.
If I leave this earth, I will be okay with whichever country she chooses. And I'm hoping that she takes my parents' spirit and my spirit and know that this is not it. I'm not raising her. I chose to raise her in this country because it's my choice. But I'm not choosing to have her life in this country. If she chooses that she doesn't want to live here and she just want to be a citizen of the United States and go live somewhere else,
oh, this is powerful.
I want to travel in my old age.
I love
it. I
it.
will visit her in Taiwan or whatever country she chooses. You understand? And most people ask me, like, I've always made sure that I tell people that she's South African American. She's not African American, because African American, they have their own history. Her history is different.
She's South African American.
It has to be labeled. And when she marks the thing, she goes for other. And when they write other, she has to write South African American.
I love it.
She has 2 homes, and she can make a 3rd one for herself if she wants that.
So guess what? If you just join us, you're on your favorite discussion, and you could feel it, right? The energy is so high. I'm ready to leap off my chair. We have Rebo with us today. She's an awesome entrepreneur. A beautiful, beautiful mother. The daughter was online with us earlier on. But I want to ask you. Something, Rebo. Mm-hmm. You did a lot of beauty pageants. You did. I saw you do so much stuff in that period of time, and I want to ask you, how did you, like, out of all the things you were doing, how did you tell yourself, you know what? I'm going to already. I know you're driven. I've heard the story. I see where it came from, but to that point of wearing that sash, whatever you guys are calling it, and just the crown, and that was like, to me, that was like, I thought that was the height of everything. Then another height came, and another height. How did that story come? How did that story? Where did you come from? Just start running for Miss South Africa and all the things. You just, how did that happen?
Funny. It's very, very funny. Like I say at the beginning, the United States is the land of milk and cookies, right? But then you have to bake them yourself. Yeah. So when I said earlier on, I told you that my friends said that I was very tomboyish when I came to this country. So when I came the second time around, I came to the DNB area. So you know that the first time around I was in like Connecticut, New York area. That's how you and I met, right? So when I came back, I came to a different state, which is the DNB area. I'm in Maryland right now. And my friends here thought that I was like a tomboy. And the first time they met me, they thought that, and there's nothing wrong with this, but they thought that I was lesbian, okay? Some of them even thought that I was hitting on them. I was like, all right, I got this, right? But anyway, I got to know them. And one day, when was it? Day after my birthday, they all dared me to do something very feminine. And I was like, I'm feminine. They're like, no, because I would never wear a heel higher than this. Okay? And they said, no, just do something feminine, pluck in, I hated the whole makeup and everything like that. And I didn't understand the world of pageantry, right? So for me, it was all about beauty, and it was shallow for me, right? And I was like, okay, fine. I started off with modeling, like clothing. So I used to model for a couple of African designers here, or like African attires, because not all of them were African, but then they were doing African attires in the DMV area. I started there. It was not a big deal because it was flat shoes and everything. They're like, kick it up a notch. And one of them entered me in the South Africa Culture USA in 2016. And when I went in, first of all, it was a day, okay? I went in with like this whole, I'm not gonna win, I'm just gonna breeze through it and everything. I'm not even expecting to win. It's a beauty thing. And I'm not the person who's like all about the appearance. And the woman who was the head of the pageant explained what I needed to do. And it was more than that. That is where my NGO came from. That is where, because I have an NGO, and which is under my company, which is also in South Africa as well, Bukamusaba Africa, right? Under that NGO, under that company, I have an NGO that helps females go to school, because in Africa, if they have to choose between a male child and a girl child to go to school,
the male will go to school and the female will stay home.
Exactly.
Get ready for marriage.
Exactly. And it also happens in South Africa as well, as we are well of it. There are those who are underprivileged and they cannot afford to take all their kids to school. They always aim for the boy to go to school because they're saying the girl will get married to a man that's educated.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And I do not approve of that. And other countries in Africa as well, it's also religion.
Yeah.
Okay, the religion does not allow them to do that. So my NGO, it works with educating females. I'm not discarding Black boys and anything like that, but I think that they have a leg ahead than the Black girls, especially. So I was like, I'm going to focus on that. And when it grows, and my vision is to get every child educated. I don't care the color of the skin. I don't care the gender. Yes, right now I'm focused on just one gender and one color, but that's not where it ends. Like I said, I'm still at the ozone layer. Okay, I'm still poking the ozone layer. I'm not done yet. So when I got into the pageantry, I had to find something that I believed in. And I had to research it and I had to be real. And I did that and I formed this NGO and I researched and I saw things and I got in contact with one of my friends back home and I told him about this and he's like, I'm willing to help. We can like sponsor one child at the beginning. At the beginning, we're sponsoring one child, right? We sponsor one child every single year with uniform, with stationery and registration fee because I couldn't afford to go that far, right? And people that I got to know as well, like there was this little girl, her name is Nora, and she was also into donating books to children in hospitals. And I'm like, I could also do that, right? And that's how the pageantry world opened up for me. It was not all about beauty anymore. It was not all about the heels and plucking of my eyes or anything. It was beyond that. It was my intellect. Wow. It was my compassion. It was who my parents raised me to be.
Oh, wow.
Sympathetic to people less fortunate. I may not have a lot, but I have more than some people.
So your non-profit, so you already have operations going down in Africa, or how many years have you had the non-profit?
Pardon?
For how many years have you had your non-profit?
So it has been active since 2017. It was an idea in 2016 while I was doing the pageant, and I said, if I want the pageant, this is where I am going. And in 2017, I started it. It was in the year I had my little girl, right? And God just gave me a girl because God was like, this is what you need to do, okay? And that's even where her name came from. I'll explain her name. But so in 2017, that was when I started, it started working. And at that time, it was out of pocket. It's mostly still out of pocket for me, and I'm not even complaining. So now it's still like, now we're starting to get a little bit of donations. I'm also working with other charities in South Africa where they provide pads. There's one thing that people need to understand. Governments provide free condoms, right?
Yeah.
But they provide free pads. And
that's Rebo, that's everywhere. We're advocating for that right here in the United States of America.
And people don't understand why we're doing that. It's because you know what? You can abstain.
Yes,
but you abstain, but you don't have a choice about it.
You have no choice. When that time of the month comes in, you have no choice. In Africa, I've seen a young girl that had to tear their t-shirt to use it as a pad. Like it makes
they use tissues, they use toilet paper, and those are not hygienic. They catch infections. Some of them don't even go to school. They actually miss school. They actually miss school during their period because they don't have anything to, be comfortable around. And men will never understand that it's very embarrassing for us to have a little stain.
Yes.
Some of us have gone through that in our teen years. Yes. And some of us still go through like a little bit of stain, and we do have the product. And we don't, and that was something that was bothering me. So I also like give to charities in South Africa as well. And I'm going to go bigger as I expand as well. I will go bigger and I will conquer. First of all, I'm conquering South Africa. I'm trying to conquer South Africa, and I'm going to try to conquer my continent. And then I want to conquer the world. So
the non-profit, at the end of the show, the non-profit is going to be everything is going to be there on the lower third and everything. So, but it's been up for 3 years now. You have, I assume you have a social media, you have a website and everything, because people need to know the work you're doing. I appreciate the work you're doing. I didn't know about the I get carried away by all the successes you have. I missed that one. I missed the non-profit one. And this is a great job you're doing. So now, 2017 to 2000 to 2020, we're looking at the non-profit. We're looking at
complementary business in South Africa.
Talk to us about that, please. Because
so I did civil engineering. So I have an engineering degree, which I spoke about earlier on, which is double right now. And I decided to start my own company back in South Africa. Like I said, although I am exploring the world, I still need my own safety net. My parents have done as much as they can, but this is a new era. I also needed to have a safety net in South Africa for myself and for my daughter as well. Anything can happen that I'm going to have to go back home. So I started a company with my father, because he's retired and he's also was in the engineering field, right? And we do carpentry, which means we do cupboards, we do kitchens, like wall units and all of that. And hopefully we'll expand. Right now in this country and also in South Africa, I'm in talks with different people. I want to start a school in South Africa. And also here in the United States, I want to start a daycare as well. So I'm working with 2 different people, and they're all going to be under, they're all going to be under Bukamusa Africa, which is the umbrella company that I have. So, and I'm an author.
Yes, you wrote a book. You wrote a book, and you wrote a children's book. And when I got the book, I was like, wow, this is real. This is real. You know, how people talk about me growing and going and going. I'm like, this is just going, right? And I think that book is going to help us transition into your life as a mother.
Yes.
You know, that is going to help us transition in your life as a mother. Something that changed, and I saw the change happen in my face, right? Change your perspective of life totally. Can you share that experience with us, please?
So before my daughter, I was cruising in a good way.
Yeah.
I had a dance group, which is still active, and there's still more to come from it. It's not that it's dormant or anything. It is dormant right now, but it's not gone, right? It's got bigger plans, and the plans are actually bee related. But before her, I was cruising. I was doing pageants. I was doing dance groups. I was here for my education, right? I was trying to find a foundation. And the moment I had her, a lot of things opened up to me. In my mind, I realized that cruising was not good enough anymore. Okay, me stalling and putting my foundation block by block very slowly was taking too long. I had to now secure and cement myself. That is when I realized that this is the country. Because even before her, people would ask me, so when you're done with your degree or when you're done with your master's, because that's what I'm doing, like, and your PhD, my ultimate goal is to get my PhD. When you're done, so what are you going to do after your studies? And all I said is like, I'm not sure. And they're like, would you stay in this country, or you're going to go back home, or you're going to go to another country? And I kept on saying to everybody, I'm not sure, right? When I had her, the day I had her, I knew this is where I'm raising her. Okay, I had put little bricks and everything there and they got my name out there, and they, you know, it was all, I could just up and leave. Do you understand? But then when I had her, I said, she needs a foundation. Not that I'm saying in 10 years, I'm not going to say that, oh, I'm moving to China, or in 5 years, I'm moving to China. You can hear me say, I'll be calling you up. I'm like, hubby, tell wifey, I'm moving to China, right? That's who I am.
Don't be surprised. None of us will be surprised. We'll just buy a ticket to come and meet you there.
Yeah, but then that's when I started seeing the market, the children's market in this country. I realized that as Africans, like the immigrants of this country, right? We are teaching our kids English and Spanish, which is a good thing. I'm bilingual. I'm multilingual. I speak 9 languages, right? So, but then it's because I'm from the country who has 11 languages. It's not impressive from South Africa to speak multiple languages. But it's impressive that, you know what, I want my child to speak English and Spanish, but I do not want her to lose the South African in her, right? And I was around, which, funny enough, before I had her, I found it didn't really bother me when all the other kids from South Africa, like their mothers were from South Africa or from another African country, they couldn't speak the language at all. I speak Setswana with the mom and the dad, and both of them are from the country, right? And I turn to the child.
They respond in English.
Exactly. Not even respond in English. The child does not even know what I'm saying.
Oh, wow.
Right? It's one thing that they respond in English. It doesn't mean that they understand the language, but then they don't even know what I'm saying. And that bothered me when I was B. I realized she was going to be around because I wanted to have the culture around her. And she might just end up losing what makes her. What makes her different in this country?
Yes, ma'am.
What makes her stand out in this country? We are a minority, like literally, even in the migration world, we are very, very tiny. South Africans are very tiny. The Nigerians, West Africa is taking over in the migration, African migrants, right? We Southern Africans are just here in between and East Africa and, and I didn't want her to lose that identity, right? And that's when I combined my passion and her, and my passion is education. So I studied education in this country. That's my second degree, right? I studied education in this country.
By the way, how many degrees do you have again?
I've got 3 degrees and 5 diplomas.
Okay, that's how many? Like 8?
Is it 5?
So wait, you have how many degrees you have in South Africa before? You had.
I have one in South Africa.
One in South Africa. So far
one
in
South
America,
Africa, which is
civil engineering. How many have you got
in America?
In
I have civil engineering and teaching
education. Okay. This is. I'm not going to ask your age, but I'm just going to say to everybody that's watching out there, I'm a firm advocate of leadership, and mostly people that know me.
You can ask my age. I'm forever 21.
Oh, I'm saying I'm not going to ask it, but I'm saying what you're telling me right now shows me that I'm in the right path, because even if you watch my movie, Miles was advocating against child marriage, child bride, because I'm a firm believer of give the lady the ability to explode, because women have something that we men don't have, right? When a woman puts her mind to something, she can succeed twice faster than a man, because we're always distracted and everything. And just listening to you comforts me into my position of, you know what, I'm going to give my daughters the same ability as my son, because I know that they are going to be just like you're talking right now. The things that you're doing when my daughters put their mind, and I see it, they're 6 years old. When they put their mind to something, it's done. So I think now is the time where the world needs to understand that there's that. When I mean the world, I mean us in Africa, because we're still the firm believers of that. The disparity of, the boy is going to go to school and the girl is going to stay in the kitchen. That's old. It's past. We as young people should advocate against that. That's why I did mine as a movie. That's why I travel every year to go and speak So I feel so great, Rebo. You don't even understand like how much I feel just listening to your story, listening to the greatness that you have achieved. I believe many young Africans and many young African immigrants in America and around the world should listen to your story. I think you should publish a book. I think we should do a documentary, something, but we should do something even bigger to make this really put this word out there. Because I've seen it firsthand. I've been in your life for 11 years. I've seen you, I've seen Rebo when she was just that young lady she's talking about coming in here being a nanny. That's when I saw her. So for me, seeing this right now, this is a testament of greatness, right? This is a testament of transformation, of belief. The power of the mind. My company is the power of the mind for a reason, because everything you put your mind to, you can achieve it. We're not just talking about it, we're actually doing it. I didn't know you had a company in South Africa. Now you're doing great things. You have published that book. B is she's a sponge. First of all, she is a twin to her mother. Fearless. If you see her in the park, the thing she does in the park is like on a whole different level. And I know where she get it from, because they say, my grandfather always said the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree, right? She does what she sees her mother do, right? So I'm so grateful for you, Rebo. And I want to ask you, what's next? What's next? Where are we going from there? Where are we going from here? I want to ask like your friends, but not in the term of I don't believe that you're going to do it, because I know you're going to do it. I know there's something bigger coming up. But
It's a
what's
lot.
next? What are a part of all the greatness that you've created? What are the projects that you have in mind? What's coming to your mind now? What else do you want to do?
Oh wow, there's a lot. I'm still an advocate for education.
Mm-hmm.
So as I said earlier on, there's a school in the works. I'm working with there's four of us. There's three other ladies coming up with the concept of a school in South Africa. I'm thinking of also having a daycare this side,
Mm-hmm.
or like underprivileged kids as well, where there's education. Because like I feel like in this country, the education is key, right? Education gets a lot of doors open. It does, guys. Like I know people like, oh, but then Steve Jobs, who was it? Is it Steve Jobs that was a dropout, or was it Mark Zuckerberg who was a dropout, or something like that? And they made. I'm like, that is a very small percentage.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to pave the way, like I said, I have a background in engineering, but that engineering background is helping me go into a different field. I am in so many other fields beyond engineering. Yes, it started me and it pushed me into an era that made me realize I was in a field that was just male dominated and I could do it. That means that I can conquer any field that I put my mind to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have dreams for my daughter. Like I said earlier on, Simunye is not dead, it is dormant. So that is also in the works as well. We have a new generation coming up. I'm raising a new generation. We as the, and I want to start a dance group, as actually a dance company for little girls to learn African dances. Just because we are here does not mean that we are not raising African children.
Yeah.
And I feel like we are losing the concept as parents because we are chasing this American dream. We are becoming Americans.
Yeah.
And what makes America is that diversity in this country.
Yeah.
And us trying to fit the mold. When I said learn the rules of this country, I did not say conform to the mold of this country.
Yeah.
Learn how to navigate, learn how to use the system, learn how to not get into trouble.
Yeah.
But do not lose your identity. I don't care if you're from Jamaica. I don't care if you're from Haiti. I don't care which country you're from. Even if you're from the European countries, do not lose that. Every single time somebody tells me that, oh, you sound American, I go like, wait, hold up. Let me get myself some chakalaka in my system. Ain't no way I'm going to sound American. Not because I do not admire Americans. I am here because I do love the country.
Yeah.
It's home, just like South Africa is home. I do not bash the country. I am here because I love it. That does not mean I want to be them. They are uniquely American, and that's what makes them beautiful.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that I incorporate what America is made of, and I want to give it to the next generation.
I love it. I love it. And this is just beautiful, man. And wow, this is great. Trust me, I've interviewed a lot of you. You've seen me in those interviews, and the stories are so unique. But your story, mostly what is really making me so excited and great right now is because I know you personally, right? But it feels now after talking to you for an hour like that, I didn't know. I've seen it. We're talking, texting all the time, encouraging messages and everything. But a lot of things is happening. A lot of things is happening. And I just want to tell you how proud I am. And the question I wanted to ask next was, if someone should ask Rebo, where does she get the energy from? What would she say? Where does she get the poise, the balance, to be level-headed and do all the things she's doing? What would be her answer?
Wow. The obvious answer would say my parents, but it's not. I would love to say my parents because they raised me and they made me who I am. And then the next answer would be my daughter, but that would be like I live for her.
Yeah, right? before your daughter, you were still Rebo.
Exactly. That would mean that I live for her. And I try to tell parents that don't make your whole world your children. Give your children the whole world.
Yeah.
Right?
I love it.
What
Baz.
So what drives me is the passion to be great. I want to leave a mark.
Mm.
I want when you guys read or talk about me when I'm gone, right? That you guys speak not only of, oh, well, she was such a great friend. Oh, she was just sweet. But, you know, I want people to say, she left a mark. She left shoes that need to be filled. She left a gap and somebody needs to fill that gap, you know? I look at my mom. She's been passed for like over a year now.
Mm.
And I will never fill her shoes.
Nope.
But I know that
Nope.
there's somebody out there
Yeah.
who has the same passion as her in South Africa.
Yeah.
That is working to be like her. Like everybody that gives me like all these messages about my mom and everything like that. And she's like, you know, your mom did this, your mom did that. And I see the mark she left. I see the shoes she's left. And
No, but guess what? Guess what, Rebo? We can see the mark she left in you. We can see it, Rebo, we can see it in you. Don't look at it far away. And that's the power. That's the power I'm talking about. The fact that that lady did all she did, and just the relationship you had with her, and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and all the greatness you're doing right now is her spirit that's living through you right now. You know, that's the strength that you have. That's the strength that you have, Rebo.
That is humbling.
Trust me, and if no one tells you that, I'm telling you that.
Okay.
I'm telling you that today, and I didn't mean to make you feel that way.
She was a very powerful woman. She was.
Yes, she was.
And I've always said that if I'm half the woman she is, and I'm not even talking about achievement in materialistic stuff. I'm talking about her
mentally,
and her giving spirit.
Yes,
my mom was a giving woman.
Mm.
My mom, like I tell people that she had lupus since she was pregnant with me. So she's had lupus all my life and all my little brother's life.
Wow.
And nobody actually knew she was sick for all those years.
Wow.
So when she passed, people were like, how did she do all of those things?
Yeah.
How was she still giving when her body was fighting her?
Yeah.
So lupus is when your body is fighting itself. So she was always ill. So we saw that as her children, but then we saw what she was to the world.
Yeah.
And as much as she was struggling with her own body, in the world, she was a giving person. And when somebody says you are like your mother or you're a reflection of your mother, nobody understands how powerful that is.
Yes, it is.
Because beyond the smile that you guys see that I post on social media, and everybody that knows me knows how much I was close to my mom.
Yeah.
Beyond all of that, there was a warrior.
Yeah.
She was a warrior, and you actually comparing me to her.
No, it's not comparing. It's just
not even because she's my mother.
No, when we see when the little story I know of her and the power and the struggle she went through, and I see your story, I'm just like, okay, I see where that strength comes from. I see where that strength comes from, you know. And as I'm watching you raise B, now it's like, okay, all right, okay. She learned from the best, you know. Now B is getting that real, you know, that realness of and trust me, I do not want you to not take that compliment, never, because people that I tell you that because they see it. All right, 11 years is not 11 days. I've seen your parents. I know all your brothers. I see them. I see all these things. We could tell. Trust me, there's a lot of people out there that are distracted from their goal. You're focused, Rebo. You are seriously focused. It's not even a joke. And anytime you text me and call me and tell me how I inspire you, I'm like, I hung up the phone. I'm like, is she for real? Like,
that's from you right now?
I'm like, is she for real? She inspires me, you know, and you don't even know. Like, I think now is the time. Now is the time, and this time of the show is when I really tell you how I feel about you and everything that you're doing, and I've did it. I've told you.
I think you made me cry enough. I'm trying to hold back my tears right now. I'm trying to
make
my makeup run.
I don't want that. I don't want that. But Rebo, sitting down on your further discussion with you is something that I've been looking forward to, and I'm so happy that in your busy schedule you gave me that honor to be here with us today, and like unfiltered, right? We're live on Facebook, on Instagram,
with all the distractions,
everything, you know.
Everybody heard my daughter. She wants to be heard.
Trust me, unfiltered, like so unfiltered, and you don't even know how proud I am. And this has given me an opportunity to tell myself, you know, I think we should do more. I think I want to see that non-profit. I want us to create something, donate, create. I do that for free anyway. Why won't I do it? Like let's create those social media pages. Let's make some noise about it, right? Let's not just talk about it. Let's do more, because I think one of the things that I've learned is when great spirits come together, there's something happen, right? There's something that happen, So the fact that we've been talking about just as family without really saying, I want to see what's that project you're working on. Can I put my 2 cents in it? Just I'm ready to do it. I think it's going to be great, and our children are growing together, right? We're looking forward to one day just being in one place together and raising these children and showing them how much.
That you and wifey need to come take her for a week.
Yeah, no, we're taking her for the whole summer.
Even better. Okay.
We're going on that road trip. Wife and I will always take that road trip.
Then can I switch?
Where we drive? Yeah, I don't know how you're going to do with them, because those people don't like to leave. But I know B is going to be difficult, but we can take a whole bunch of them together. If you want to join, that's cool. We could drive across America together and just have fun. So
B is like 3 kids in one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
and the twins,
good luck.
The twins are like 6 kids in 2. So so we have the experience. We're going to do it.
Power of a girl child, hey?
No, trust me, we love it. We love it. And I thank you for being a good parent. Thank you for all the inspirational stories that you tell us today. If there's anything that we're supposed to talk about and that we omitted, what should that be?
I think we've covered everything. I think we did.
How does it feel to be a single mom?
Well, let me just tell you something. I have this thing that I say, I'm a single parent, not a single mom.
Single parent, okay.
Single mom implies that there is a dad in the picture.
Okay.
So I'm the parent, and I don't like to say I'm the mom and dad, because I'm never going to
No, you're a single parent. I agree.
Be the dad. So how does it feel to be a single parent? I was born to raise her. I was born to, do you want to say hi? I was born to be her mom. She was predicted. She was not planned, but then she was given to me, and her coming into my life actually enriched me and made me grow up even faster and realize what actually matters in this world. And I am grateful. One thing I can say is this one?
Nah,
Botale.
Botale.
Her name means intelligence, actually.
Oh, wow.
That's why I told you, like, her name also plays into my journey as well, because I always wanted to educate females. I wanted to educate girls. And I wanted her to know that there is more beyond just her face or her body as the media is portraying.
Yes, ma'am.
And I've always been told that the name you give your children, they actually
meaningful.
Exactly. Actually grow into that. So be careful what kind of names you give your children.
Yes, ma'am. I agree.
This for me was one of the most powerful names that I've given her. And it was like a testament of who I believe I am. And my wisdom right over here.
I love it. Oh my God, that's beautiful. So I you take ownership of that single parenthood, and you riding with it. You're doing it, and I know I'm not saying it's easy, but you're making it look easy, right? And you're making it look easy, And anytime I've been to DC. We've spent time together when B was younger. Anytime I see you in the park, I see you doing all the things you're doing on your YouTube page and everything, I'm like, wow, this is beautiful, So I'm just appreciative, because
I'm enjoying it.
I was raised by a single mother. I know, or a single parent. If you say I was raised by a single parent, and I know how it feels, right? So it's a proud moment for me. It is a proud moment for me. And guess what? I'm here, B. You're not by yourself. We're in this together.
I think that what makes it easy or seem easy for me is the support system I have. I will not belittle the support system that I have from you guys. I remember she still loves them, the African outfits that you got her, the dresses.
Yeah.
I remember you.
I went to Ghana. I went to Ghana and I was buying dress for the girls, and I was thinking about all the children I have around me, and she was one of them. And I was like, oh, I need to.
Delivered them, and to this day, she still wears them.
I actually have a picture in my phone. I have a picture in my phone that I never erased of her. In
the
that,
dress.
yes.
Wifey has the same dress.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, so that's family, man. It's just beautiful. And
exactly. So she's not just raised by me. She has a village raising her.
Yes.
So it's one thing that she needs to like. That she's gonna grow up knowing that it's not just me and her against the world.
Yeah,
there's so many people who love her, and they've loved her before they even met her.
Yep.
That's one thing about this little girl. She has some spirit in her that everybody falls in love with her just by, I don't know what it is in her, and I'm very grateful for that.
Can I say something? And I want you to. I know you're going to understand what I'm going to say, but I don't know why I'm going to say it. That's the spirit of your mother right there.
You see now,
and you know that that's your mother's spirit. And if you've been initiated in back in the village, you know exactly what I'm talking about. People that are watching that are not being initiated, I'm sorry for you guys. You lost. You're not even getting it. But that's her. Anytime I see her, her image comes back to me. You know, just her ways of doing it, the way your mom was loving. See that she's so loving and it's beautiful. So feel comforted, feel good, you know, about that. She didn't go far away. She's here with you. So Rebo, how do we end this interview? I feel like I want to talk to you for the whole day. How do we end this? Talk to me.
I don't know. How do you want to end this one? Maybe B can end it.
B. Hello, B. Can you help us end this interview? How do we end the interview, B? Talk to me. Talk to Uncle.
How do you want to end this?
Until 5.
Oh, we should do a counting. 5.
How old are you?
Two candies. Two candies. Two candies.
2 candies?
Yeah. My tummy.
Oh, the candies are in your tummy.
Yeah.
You don't even look like you have 2 candies in your tummy. You're lifting up weight and all that.
I know, right? It's just burning out calories up here.
Burning those calories. So Rebo,
how do we say goodbye to Uncle?
I told you I'm on my way to Zambia and
okay, let's listen to Uncle.
When I come back, maybe we have to do this again. Maybe we have to, I don't know, maybe we'll do a person.
I have a different topic?
Yeah, a person in person. I'll have a different topic. Who knows?
I would be honored.
Today was getting to know you as a person and being in your space and everything that you've done. And I know somebody's been inspired. I know I'm reading the comment on Facebook. Somebody says, finally someone that thinks like me. The sky is definitely not a limit. I have one actually is an artist from Sweden that says hi, Miss Africa. You know, so we have people watching, and we're going to edit this after the interview, and we're going to have a great piece mailed to you. You're going to share it and everything so that we can spread the message. But I'm not going to lie to you. It was an honor having you, you know, on this show. You made my day. You made my weekend. You know,
you made my day. Actually, I was excited for like a whole week knowing that this was coming out. Apparently I'm not allowed to be on the screen anymore. So I'm talking behind her.
Yeah, I know. I know she's taking over.
She kind of like blocks my face.
Be's taking over. She loves it. She loves it. No, but I was excited too, and I took time to really prepare. You saw me. I told you I went.
I know, right?
I went all out to
that one.
Wear my King's things, and the background is a whole South African flag and everything. So,
what is that? Do you see that? What is that?
That's pillow.
That's a pillow.
A pillow, yeah. I remember.
A pillow in our.
No, I remember her pillow is a South African flag. I remember.
So whenever she sees a South African flag, she calls it the pillow.
All right, guys. Love you.
So very much
awesome. You know, awesome talk with you. I know we have to do it again because I know there's more to cover, and the sky's not the limit, man. The power of the mind. You know how we do it. Bye, B.
I'm not allowed to be on screen, but thank you so much for having us.
B, can you let mommy just say bye to the viewers, please? Please, B, can you do that, please?
Okay, can I say bye-bye to Uncle? She does not want, she's like, it's my turn to have a screen time.
Bye-bye.
Bye, B. Love you.
Bye.
Love you so much.
So thank you for having us.
Bye, honey.
Oh my gosh, the pleasure is mine. You know how we do it.